Do you believe that you need to have a high IQ to be successful? Do you believe that you need to have connections or wealth, or you need to look a certain way to be successful? Right now, there's a preconceived notion in our world that we need to have some of these external things before we can get a chance at doing the things that we really ultimately want to do. And a really common one is actually having a high IQ. So in this video, we're gonna break down for you why having a high IQ is actually not the most important thing, and I'm gonna tell you what to focus on instead. So do you know what to focus on instead? Well, you probably read from the title of the video that attitude is more important than IQ. And that's right, attitude. The way that we perceive challenges and obstacles, the way that we shape and frame the world, that's actually more important than how smart you are, the intellect and the knowledge that you have in your brain. And the best part about this is that it's not just my opinion. And it is actually backed by tons and tons of research in the last couple of years. From universities such as Stanford and Harvard, they've come up with all these different studies and case studies showing that attitude is a way bigger indicator of success rather than how smart or how much knowledge one has. This is best exemplified in the book by Carol Dweck called Mindset, where she breaks down attitude into two different groups of people. One is the fixed mindset group of people, and the other is the growth mindset. People in the fixed mindset group are people that believe the current results they have is gonna dictate the future they're gonna live in. So they don't want to go up against challenges and new obstacles. They just want to keep the status quo. They're fixed, right? And they're not very open to criticism as well, because they're really shielding themselves from any change that they wanna make. On the other side, we have people on the growth mindset. These are people that welcome challenges, that welcome obstacles, that see joy from learning, and they know that the whole journey is about progress, not perfection. And so, is it enough to just know where you sit between the fixed and the growth? I figured I'd throw you guys 4 strategies in terms of what ultra successful multimillionaires, New York bestsellers actually do, probably on a daily basis. And I promise you, if you even implement one of these, it's gonna make a world of difference in terms of how you view your success. First strategy is the strategy of taking massive action. And I love what Phil McKernan says about this. He says, in the absence of clarity, make sure to take massive action. And the reason you want to take massive action is because you want to ask yourself better questions, right? A lot of people spend so much time scheming, planning, trying to learn different knowledge things. It's not necessarily about the knowledge, right? It's about, are you doing it? Are you in motion? Are you in the game, right? And so taking massive action, that puts you in the game, and the better questions you start asking, the better answers you're gonna get. Another strategy is the idea of learning how to play to win versus playing not to lose. Huge tragedy in life is not because people set their bar so high or set their goals so high and they miss. It's usually because they set it at a realistic standpoint, or they set it at what they believe they can achieve and they actually hit. Right? And then when they hit their goal, they're like, oh, is this really it? This is not what I thought it was gonna be. Dream big. Allow yourself to really push your own comfort zone in terms of what you think you can accomplish. If you keep basing what you think you can accomplish off your results that you have now, you're not gonna get very far. And I love what Brendon Burchard says about this. He says, even though you have a small business, don't let your small business keep you small-minded. Just think about that. Playing to win versus playing not to lose. The third strategy is being willing to pivot. Pivot strategy was made famous by the book Lean Startup, written by Eric Ries, where he talks about pivoting and making iterations to certain products, to certain companies, and every successful company in the history has been able to pivot from the very big idea. If you're out there taking massive action and you're out there playing to win, inevitably you are gonna get feedback and you're gonna sense what is really working and what's not. If you look at any successful company, take Instagram for example, if you look at the history of it, they iterated so many different times until they figured out that the filters was really what people were going after, right? And then they repurposed everything. They called it Instagram. They sold it for $1 billion, and the rest is history. So you gotta know when to pivot and be willing to pivot on the big idea that you have. And the last strategy is the strategy of taking responsibility for everything. And I remember when I was talking to Grant Cardone, he said, anytime you protest, anytime you complain, right? And be honest, how many times do you complain during the day? Every time you complain, you're choosing to be the victim. You're choosing to be the victim in the situation. If you take responsibility, whatever, if it was your fault, if it was not your fault, if the economy is down, if your business is up, if your business is down, whatever it is, if you choose to take responsibility for it, it's gonna be a lot better because you're stepping into that leadership role. You're stepping into that role of, I'm gonna take care of it, I'm gonna think ahead, that long-term strategy. And so those are the 4 different strategies that are gonna allow you to be a little more successful and view yourself in the right lens. So I want to hear from you. Which one out of the 4 strategies that we just talked about resonated with you? Which one are you gonna go and implement right away? Let me know in the comment section below. And I hope you guys remember that attitude is a lot more important than IQ. So don't let your limitations and don't let your beliefs hold you back from doing the things that you ultimately really want to do. And until next time, guys, this is Jay saying live with passion, live your dream, and live it